And you know what? I'm going to say I have a hell of a lot of respect for Brute and everything that he's done. I know that he's been everywhere. I mean, he's been out of the country. He's been to Japan. He's been to Ring of Honor. He's done a lot of great stuff. But I'm just letting Brute know that that's another thing. That's not going to be an easy thing. You're a big guy, and I have all the respect in the world for you. And you've been in the business for a good long time. But telling people that, people that are acting like they're entitled to the territory, so to speak, I, for one, do not think I'm entitled to anything. I'm going to fight just the same as you are, big man, for this championship. And I will let you know that I'm going to be fighting for this just as hard as you do, man. For me, my first match, you may think that each match for you may be easy and that you may have some people that aren't going to be as easy for you. You have the mindset of thinking that probably the only match that's going to matter to Brute is going to be the last match because he assumes he's going to be on the finals. You take that and you compare it to me. I am treating this matchup with Tyler Vincent in the first round as the championship match. If you think that I'm going to come into the first round treating it like a championship and then not treat the rest of the tournament like a championship, you got a wrong thing, pal, because I'm letting you know this right now. Every single match for me is a championship match. Let's say I win 3 times and actually make it all the way. 3 times, right? 8-man tournament, I'd have to win 3 times to win the whole thing, right? Because the third round's the finals. You know what? I'm going to treat each of them. I will plan on winning 3 matches and considering myself a 3-time champion just by beating every single match. If I beat Tyler Vincent, I will consider myself a champion alone, but I will want that next championship. Every single match in this tournament for me is a championship match. So I know that he's saying that people are acting like they're entitled to the territory or that, they are coming up against somebody who, I'm reading what he said right now. He's saying that he carried the CNY banner for nearly a decade. And if we think that he's going down with a fight, we're dumber than we look. And I'm telling you right now, big man, I don't think that you're dumber than you look. But I'm letting you know this right now. I'm not somebody to sleep on either. Because I'm coming into this with a hell of a lot of heart. And I'm telling you, heart actually is a lot more than brawn can do.
If you could pick your opponents for the semifinals and the finals, who would they be?
The semifinals and the finals. Well, let's see here. If I could really, there's a huge mix of guys in here. I don't know. From what I've seen, the competitors are me. There's TV. There's Brute. There's Omar. There's Mike Skyros. There's Danny Adam. There's Kirby Wackerman, who a lot of people seem to be sleeping on as well, and Guy Sadlowski. I wouldn't mind facing any one of them because, honestly, if I want to prove myself as the champion, I have to be willing to face any one of them and actually think that I actually have a good chance of having a good match with them. So you know what? Semifinals or finals, it doesn't matter to me. I'd be happy to face any of those guys that are in the tournament.
And when you do win that title, who's the first guy you want to defend it against?
The first man that I want to defend that title against? Well, whoever earns the opportunity. We have a lot of people in NYCW that deserve a championship, probably more than just the 8 of us. However, we were the ones that picked, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people wait in line. Like they said, it's a lot harder to keep something than it is to achieve it. And I'm just letting people know that I will definitely keep in consideration other people's achievements. And I would love to face anybody on NYCW, but like in the Highlander, there can only be one. There can only be one champion, and I have the confidence to say that I actually have all that there needs to be in order to win that championship on March 9th.
So March 9th is Grand Prix Near Championship Wrestling's next event at the Whitesboro Accelerate Sports Complex. What's next for Lance Madewell after that night?
What happens for me? Who knows? There's other things that are coming up. People are going to see me. From what I was planning on doing, people are going to see me on March 16th at Immortal Championship Wrestling. I might be in the crowd. I might be in the ring. Who knows? If Mike King's listening, hopefully he'll actually be listening to this and decide that Lance Madewell is somebody he wants to have there. Not in the crowd, but in the ring. But who knows? So Whether I'm in the crowd or in the ring is up to them, but I'm also that kind of guy that's completely content with sitting in the crowd if I'm not booked somewhere. I'm not like certain people that are like, I don't go places unless I'm booked, because you know what? That's the horrible way to go. If you think of that mindset, you immediately lost something and you don't deserve to be here.
Have you been working also with the student showcases in TIW?
Yes, I have. Actually, we just had one a couple weeks ago. We had one on February 6th, I think it was. If memory serves me correctly, I could be wrong. February 9th it was. I was part of that in a tag team match with Guy Sadlowski against the Dillon Street Boys. And it was a good match, and it was a lot of fun. We had a couple people graduate. Dillon Street Boys graduated, as well as Zayden Lynn and Sweet Money Montgomery, names you might end up seeing at NYCW in the near future. But that was then. We actually have student showcases every quarter. The next TIW show will be on March 23rd. It will be Forward March. I don't know what I'll be doing then, but you guys can rest assured that I'll be there.
What's Lance Madewell's ultimate goal in wrestling? What do you want to accomplish that you haven't yet?
My ultimate goal in wrestling has never been about making it to the WWE. And I know there will be some, macho guys in the business who will be like, well, then you need to get the hell out, because if your main goal is to not win the championship of WrestleMania, you need to get out of the business. I'm not going to let anybody determine what my dreams are in this business. I make my own dreams, and if you don't support them, well, then you know what? You got your own. Focus on them and don't worry so much about mine. I already have some goals, that I have already accomplished that I'm happy about. That TIW has been running as well as it has, that we have a very successful school. I'm very proud of the students that have graduated from there. And I also would like to say that at the end of the day, my main goal, and I'm pretty sure that I've already accomplished it, but it'll make room for me to create new goals, is that there is one person that I have always held responsible for my love of wrestling, and that's my father. As long as I'm making my father proud, my goal has been reached in wrestling. But I will always want to strive for something else. Yes, I would love to hold a championship. I would love to hold the NYCW championship. And that is why I'm going in the mindset on the 9th that I have what it takes to actually win this tournament. But I'm sure there'll be more goals for me later down the line. There may be a goal probably 2 years from now that'll change. There might be a goal that won't change from there. But I know that my father is proud of me and everything that I've been able to do in terms of this business, but there will always be the goal of wanting to have an effect on somebody, whether you're 100 years old or you're 5 years old. I want to be able to leave from a show knowing that I had a positive influence on those people in that crowd.
And Lance, if somebody wants to book you, how do they get in touch with you?
You can get a hold of me, Lance Madewell 86 at gmail.com. That's LanceMadewell 86 at gmail.com. If you are looking for somebody who does not belong to the trend of predictability or complacency and is willing to give you a unique experience in that ring every single time, you need to book me. Because I will tell you, I connect with your fans. I always mingle with your fans. I don't hang out in the locker room. I am always out there trying to watch what happens, and I definitely have goals in mind for this business.
Lance, I want to thank you so much for your time. Did you have any final thoughts for the listeners?
I just hope that every single one of you guys actually gained something from listening to this. Check out Mike's podcast. It's always good from what I've been hearing. And definitely I will be seeing a lot of you guys on March 9th at the Accelerate Sports Complex, I believe it's called, in Whitesboro. Right. Horrible name for a town, I think, but it's a great venue. But definitely, if you see me, feel free to say hi. I will not be restricting talk only to people that pay $20 for a t-shirt. Feel free to come to me at table, chat. I'll probably be sitting next to the concession and merch person, and you know what? I'll be glad and happy to do it, because you know what? That's what Lance Madewell is about. That's what Lance Madewell is always about, and that's what Lance Madewell will always be about. So thank you for having me on the podcast. All you guys that are listening, March 9th, Whitesboro, Accelerate Sports Complex. be there and watch me try to win the NYCW championship and become the first NYCW champion.
Lance, thank you again for your time. Good luck on the 9th. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
Things are going to be heating up in New York Championship Wrestling, guys. March 9th, Grand Prix at the Accelerate Sports Complex in Whitesboro. Lance Madewell, our guest tonight. You heard it from him. First round, him and Tyler Vincent, two friends, two guys who have been on a tag team together in New York Championship Wrestling, are going to be facing one-on-one in that opening round. It's going to be a great night of action. You have to get out and support your local independent wrestling. It's very important if you're a wrestling fan. You can't just go to WWE shows. You can't just watch Monday Night Raw and think you're getting the best of wrestling. Sometimes the best of wrestling is right in your own backyard. And I think New York Championship Wrestling on March 9th is going to give us some goddamn good wrestling. And if you don't get out and support it, it won't be there anymore, guys. You have to get out and support it. If you're a wrestling fan, there's no reason why you shouldn't check it out. So I just want to thank Lance Madewell for his time tonight again. We're going to be back again next week, and our guest will be announced later this week. So thank you so much for joining us again, guys, on the podcast. This is Mike signing off for the night. Get in touch with us on Facebook at My Guest at This Time Podcast, on Twitter at PodcastCNY, and you can download us on Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever else you get your on-demand audio. So make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next week.